So we're here in Sunriver, and we're looking at a re-siding job. This was typically going to be a re-side with tearing off all the old siding, the old LP lap siding, and putting on new hardy plank siding, new cedar, new trim, repainting, new decking, new railings. And like any job, you never know for sure what's going to happen. So when we got the siding all tore off, as you'll see, there was no underlayment underneath any of it. It was installed improperly, and we also discovered that there's a huge amount of dry rot, which is a little unusual for a house of this age. It was built in the early 90s. Most of that stems from the fact that it was just improperly done, and the siding was improperly installed. So unfortunately, we have a lot of repair work to do that wasn't anticipated, but we worked with the homeowner and got it all fixed and without too much terrible expense. The sad thing is that it was all these things were shouldn't have never been, and were totally preventable if it had been done properly. The siding job will take probably about 2 weeks once we get into the siding itself, and then obviously the painting and the railings and the deck work will take another few weeks. So it's a rather lengthy process because of the dry rot also that we had to repair, and it's a good sized home, and it's right on the golf course here in Sunriver. Yeah, I mean, any remodel project, there's always hidden things, and you have to expect pretty much the worst case scenario because you never know. There's no way of seeing these things. Nobody has x-ray vision to see into the walls, and sometimes you can see signs of problems that might be because you can see things that are happening on the outside of the house or on the inside of the house, but you just have to plan for the worst, and we try to do that so that we're not going back to the homeowner constantly saying we need more money to fix this, we need more money to fix that. We try to put in our contracts that if there's any major things that we have to sit down and discuss it and talk about what needs to be done to fix it, and try to work out some kind of a proposal that will fit both budget and time frame. But small things, whether it's just repairing, making small repairs that you run into, things that you didn't plan on doing, we usually just fix them and move on. It's not worth messing with. So when we discovered the dry rot problems after we started stripping everything, I called the homeowner immediately. He obviously does not live here. He lives in Seattle. This was a vacation home. And the reason we're doing all this work is because he's retiring the end of this year and plans on moving here and living here as a permanent resident. So I sent photos, emailed photos to him immediately, emailed him and also made a phone call. We talked on the phone. We exchanged emails. He looked at the photos. It just so happened that he had planned on coming down that following weekend, which was a long Memorial Day weekend. And I met him here on Saturday over the Memorial Day weekend. Spent a few hours. We went around the house, explained all the problems, showed him what we were up against. And obviously he'd already seen the photos, so he knew somewhat what was going on. And we set out a plan to attack the problem and get it fixed. And in a matter of a couple of days, we had pretty much everything taken care of. And sometimes people don't think about dry rot here in Central Oregon because they think it's too dry. We don't have those kind of problems, but we do have those problems. And they stem from improper installations and improper materials being used. They are still today using Doug fir for exterior use on decking, deck frame structures, unprotected products that will dry rot. We have snow that sits on our decks for 4 months out of the year that melts and freezes and melts and freezes, and then in the spring it all melts and everything stays soaked for months. So people don't realize that dry rot does exist here, but if done properly, done the way the code does require it, there should never be a problem. You can't not let it go. It's something that has to be corrected because it's only going to grow and get worse. We've had dry rot into the structure, into the framing. Things hadn't got to the inside yet, but then you can end up with mold problems, mildew. There's a whole plethora of things that can happen. It can just blossom into a lot more problems. So This, now that after this is completed and everything is done, this will last a lifetime. I mean, there'll never be another problem with what he's experienced in the, in this near future. It's not really just something that you can say, well, I'll fix it later. It has to be taken care of, because even if you were to sell the house or want to sell it in the near future, you're going to have to disclose all these things, and an inspection is going to show out what was happening, and it's going to be probably going to terminate your sale more than likely if there's that much problems and that much expense in repair. But nipping it in the bud now while we're here, the expense isn't as great as it would to hire someone to come in and fix just that problem.